On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Aversion.
A strong dislike or reluctance towards something or someone, a feeling of extreme distaste or aversion towards something or someone unpleasant.
Examples:
Aversion therapy. Strong aversion. Her aversion to snakes made her avoid the reptile exhibit at the zoo.
Disappoint.
To fail to meet someone or their hopes or expectations, to make someone feel sad.
Examples:
Disappoint the audience. Don't disappoint me. She worked very hard not to disappoint her boss's expectations.
Poverty.
The condition of being extremely poor.
Examples:
Poverty alleviation. The cycle of poverty. Many studies have investigated the relationship between poverty and academic achievement.
Margin.
The space around the edge of a page or document. Finance, the net sales minus the cost of goods and services sold.
Examples:
Margin error. A profit margin. Unfortunately, the book's margin was too small to make notes.
Conversation.
An informal talk between two or more people to exchange their views, ideas, information, etc.
Examples:
Conversation in English. A friendly conversation. Your conversation reflects your thoughts.
Nation.
A large organized community of people living in a particular country or region and having a particular culture.
Examples:
Nation state. A seafaring nation. The nation of Japan is known for its unique culture and advanced technology.
Sacrifice.
The act of killing an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to a deity. Verb, to give up something important or valuable to help another person or get or do something that seems more important.
Examples:
Small sacrifice for a great cause. Sacrifice anything to get ahead. You cannot accomplish great things without a sacrifice of your time or money.
Befriend.
To become a friend of someone, especially when in need.
Examples:
Befriend a young boy. Befriend other members. I'm willing to befriend the weak and the poor.
Pride.
A feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's achievements.
Examples:
Pride of a company. Hide his pride. She took great pride in her work, always striving for perfection.
Bet.
To risk money on the result of an event or a competition, such as a race or game, to get more money, to have faith or confidence in something.
Examples:
Bet on a race. Bet my future. I bet that you know it.
Immersion.
The act of putting someone or something into a liquid completely, the state of being completely involved in a subject or activity.
Examples:
Baptism by immersion. Immersion in acid. I felt like I was in a different world because of the immersion experience of virtual reality.
Untouched.
Not touched or disturbed by anyone or anything, not having been altered, changed, or affected in any way.
Examples:
Untouched wilderness. Untouched landscape. The abandoned house was untouched for years, with vines growing all over it.
Daring.
Brave and taking risks.
Examples:
Daring escape. Make a daring face. Her choices become increasingly daring and creative.
Privilege.
A special right or advantage that only one person or group of people has, usually because they are rich and powerful in a society.
Examples:
A breach of privilege. Privilege of membership. In the Middle Ages, the right to hunt in the wild was the privilege of royalty and nobility.
Extraordinary.
Exceptional, unexpected, very unusual, surpassing the ordinary or usual.
Examples:
Extraordinary ability. Extraordinary weather. He narrated the extraordinary story of his adventure.
Fellow.
Someone who has the same job or interests as you, or is in the same class, profession, or situation as you.
Examples:
Junior fellow. Nice fellow. He is the kind of fellow who only works for his success.
Foundation.
The lowest load-bearing part of a building, typically below ground level, a fundamental basis or principle upon which something is built or established, an organization that provides funding or support for charitable or educational purposes.
Examples:
Foundation course. Weak foundation. The foundation of the building was cracked and needed to be repaired.
Tribe.
A social group made up of members who live together, sharing the same language, culture, religion, etc., especially those who do not live in towns or cities.
Examples:
Aboriginal tribe. Mountain tribe. The tribe had distinctly defined gender roles.
Native.
Connecting with or describing someone's birth country or place of birth, or someone born in a specific country or place.
Examples:
Native to Africa. Native language. The vegetation here is almost wholly native.
Decision.
The act or process of making up someone's mind about something, a choice or judgment reached after considering options.
Examples:
Decision authority. A selfish decision. She was struggling to make a decision between two job offers.
Visualize.
To form a mental image or concept of something, to make something visible.
Examples:
Visualize data. Visualize flying through space. She tried to visualize the layout of the new house in her mind.
Steward.
A person responsible for the management and care of another's property or for the supervision of the domestic staff of a large household or organization. A person in charge of arranging for the supply of food to a college, club, etc.
Examples:
Steward duties. Steward service. The steward on the flight was very helpful in assisting passengers with their needs.
Planet.
Any of the 9 large celestial bodies that circle in the solar system, any celestial body that revolves around a star.
Examples:
Planet like the Earth. Save the planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun.
Tragic.
Causing great sadness or suffering, very unfortunate.
Examples:
Tragic love stories. Tragic death. The tragic events of the war left many families torn apart.
Preserve.
To keep or maintain a particular quality, feature, etc., especially to prevent it from decaying, being damaged, or being destroyed.
Examples:
Preserve my strength. Preserve a country's heritage. They worked hard to preserve the nature of their native lands.
Colleague.
One of a group of a coworker, especially in a profession or a business.
Examples:
Collaborate with colleagues. Former colleague. I decided to seek counseling on the advice of my colleague.
Abduct.
To take someone away illegally to an undisclosed location by force, usually to extract a ransom.
Examples:
Abduct a girl. Abduct at gunpoint. The passerby witnessed the moment the boy was abducted.
Torture.
The act of causing intense pain or suffering to someone to punish them, extract information from them, or for some other reason.
Examples:
A torture chamber. An instrument of torture. The use of torture is strictly prohibited under international law.
Spirit.
The part of a person which is the seat of their mind, feelings, and character rather than their physical body, the general atmosphere of a place or situation, and the effect that it has on people.
Examples:
Spirit and the letter of the law. An indomitable spirit. Despite their tragic loss, the family is showing great spirit.
Jersey.
A knitted garment typically made of wool or cotton, worn as a shirt or pullover.
Examples:
Jersey material. Fabric of the jersey. I always wear my favorite basketball player's jersey to the games.
Integrate.
To combine one thing with another so that they form a whole or work together. To accept equal participation for members of all races and ethnic groups.
Examples:
Integrate into the existing system. Integrate both businesses. He found that it is difficult to integrate socially.
Wisdom.
The quality of being wise, or the ability to use your knowledge and experience to make sensible decisions.
Examples:
A fountain of wisdom. Wisdom literature. The community greatly respected and sought after the older adults' wisdom.
Fulfill.
To meet the requirements or expectations, to achieve or realize.
Examples:
Fulfill a contract. Fulfill a lifetime dream. It was the first time for her, but she fulfilled the role of priest.
Tradition.
A belief, custom, or way of doing something that has been passed down from generation to generation within a group or society.
Examples:
A tradition of a culture. Against tradition. It is a tradition in many families to have a big Thanksgiving dinner with all their relatives.
Regime.
The organization, a system, or method that is the governing authority of a political unit.
Examples:
A puppet regime. Exercise regime. Totalitarian regimes are less likely to innovate because they deprive individuals of economic incentives.
Elite.
Belonging to the wealthiest, most potent, best educated, or best trained group in a society.
Examples:
Earn elite status. Elite athlete. Very few educational elites go to Oxford or Cambridge.
Intellect.
The ability to think logically and comprehend information, especially at an advanced level.
Examples:
Enrich my intellect. Human intellect. Your intellect is capable of distinguishing among similar objects.
Survivor.
A person who remains alive after an event in which others have died.
Examples:
Ovarian cancer survivor. A single survivor. The shipwreck survivor was rescued after floating in the ocean for 3 days.
Cot.
A small bed for a baby or child, typically with high sides to prevent the child from falling out.
Examples:
Caught in the tent. Baby's cot. The hospital provides cots for patients' families who want to stay overnight.
Refugee.
A displaced person who has crossed national borders and who cannot or is unwilling to return home due to political, religious, or economic reasons or because of a war.
Examples:
Global refugee crisis. The refugee camp. The community warmly welcomed the refugees.
Fragment.
A small piece or part broken off or detached.
Examples:
Fragment of a text. A broken fragment. The archaeologist carefully pieced together the tiny fragments of pottery found at the dig site.
Reunion.
A social occasion or party for a group of people who have not seen each other for a long time, the act of coming together again.
Examples:
A class reunion. The annual reunion of the alum. I will attend my college reunion tomorrow.
Lift.
To raise something to a higher position or level, to pick up something or somebody and move them to a different position.
Examples:
Lift sagging skin. Lift a ban on alcohol. The drought lifted the prices of grain globally.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Studio.
A room or building where creative or artistic work is produced, a television or radio production company.
Examples:
A photo studio. Music studio. She works at a recording studio in Los Angeles.
Clap.
To hit your hands together and make a short and loud noise, mainly to show your approval or praise.
Examples:
Clap my hands. Clap a book shut. We clapped along with the singer's song.
Rhythm.
A strong, regular, repeated pattern of sounds, words, or musical notes that are used in music, poetry, and dancing.
Examples:
In samba rhythm. Irregular heart rhythm. He beat out a jazz rhythm on the cajones.
Fairy.
A mythical being of folklore and romance usually depicted as having magic powers.
Examples:
Fairy tale. A water fairy. The mischievous fairy flew gracefully through the forest, spreading magic wherever she went.
Pixie.
A mythical creature, often depicted as a small, mischievous, and playful fairy-like being with pointed ears, sometimes associated with forests or nature.
Examples:
Whimsical pixie. Pixie-like figure. The little girl dressed up as a mischievous pixie for Halloween.
Silk.
A fine, strong, soft, lustrous fiber produced by silkworms in making cocoons and collected to make thread and fabric.
Examples:
Silk road. Silk fabric. She wore a silk dress to the party.
Atrocity.
Brutal act, an extremely wicked or cruel act.
Examples:
Commit atrocity. Cold-blooded atrocity. The atrocity of the war left many children orphaned.
Pray.
To make a request or petition to a higher power, especially in the form of a respectful or humble request.
Examples:
Pray devoutly. Pray for rain. She closed her eyes and prayed for strength to overcome difficult times.
Absolute.
Perfect or complete, or to the most considerable degree possible.
Examples:
Absolute loyalty. An absolute must. Gandhi had an absolute zeal for nonviolence.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
Opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Provider.
A person or an organization that supplies somebody with something needed or wanted.
Examples:
An information provider. The provider of the family. People select internet providers not only in terms of price, but also in terms of transmission speed.
Finance.
The management of money, credit, banking, and investments, especially by a government or commercial organization, the branch of economics that studies the management of money and other assets.
Examples:
Finance Act. Manage my finances. Our company decided to hire an advisor who specializes in finance.
Extreme.
Very great in amount or degree.
Examples:
Extreme sports. Extreme weather events. Solar gravity creates extreme pressures and temperatures.
Parliament.
A legislative body, especially the one that represents the people of a country or state.
Examples:
Disband parliament. Event of a hung parliament. He was a member of parliament.
Institutionalize.
To establish or make something a part of an institution, equals a place such as a university, hospital, etc.
Examples:
Institutionalize a system. Institutionalize customary laws. The new policy aims to institutionalize the use of renewable energy sources.
Gender.
The range of characteristics of femininity and masculinity and differentiating between them, especially when considering social and cultural differences rather than differences in biology.
Examples:
Gender-blind policies. Dual gender. Cultural norms strongly influence gender expectations.
Equity.
The value of the shares issued by a company.
Examples:
Private equity firm. Equity capital market. That company is cautious when it comes to equity investment.
Empower.
To give someone the power or authority to do something.
Examples:
Empower my life. Empower the secretary to do the same. The company empowered employees to buy low-price items without approval to achieve efficient purchasing.
Trap.
A piece of equipment or hole for catching animals or people. Verb, to catch animals or people and prevent them from escaping.
Examples:
Set a trap. Trap an animal. The enemy fell right into the trap.
Principle.
A fundamental law or truth that explains or controls how something happens or works.
Examples:
Principle of treatment. Principle in business. Efficiency isn't an essential principle here, fairness is.
Diversity.
The quality or fact of many different types of things or people being included in something, a range of different things or people.
Examples:
The diversity policy of the university. Lingual diversity. He was impressed by the range and diversity of the collection.
Tolerance.
The willingness to accept or tolerate something, especially something that is different or unpleasant.
Examples:
Religious tolerance. Tolerance for risk. The school's diversity program aimed to promote tolerance and understanding among the students.
Genocide.
The intentional killing of a large group of people, especially those of a particular ethnic group or nation.
Examples:
Genocide victims. Genocide resolution. The international community condemned the genocide in the country.
Extremist.
A person who holds extreme political or religious views and who is willing to use violent or illegal methods to promote those views.
Examples:
Extremist political views. Radical extremist. The extremist group planned a series of violent attacks to push its agenda.
Minister.
A person appointed to or a job of a head of a government department.
Examples:
Minister for Education. Deputy Prime Minister. The minister occasionally preaches at this church.
Justice.
The quality of being fair and reasonable and treating people equally according to their due.
Examples:
Criminal justice. Justice of heaven. The judge's ruling was based on the principles of justice and fairness.
Incite.
To encourage, stir up, or provoke someone to do something, to urge, instigate, or stimulate someone to take action, often negative or aggressive.
Examples:
Incite violence. Incite rebellion. The politician's speech seemed designed to incite anger and unrest among the crowd.
Convict.
To prove or declare someone to be guilty of a crime. Noun, a person serving a sentence in a jail or prison.
Examples:
Convict him of manslaughter. Convict in a jail. He was convicted on fraud charges and sentenced to 5 years in prison.
Side by side.
Describing two or more things that are positioned next to each other, in close proximity, and typically in a parallel manner. Adverb, next to each other, with one thing positioned close to the other.
Examples:
Side-by-side comparison. Working side by side. The side-by-side comparison of the two products revealed significant differences in quality and features.
Monster.
An imaginary creature that is large and has various human and animal parts, someone or something large and powerful.
Examples:
Horde of monsters. Monster film. This car has a monster engine.
Sham.
Something that is not as good or true as it seems to be and is intended to deceive people. A person who pretends to be something they are not.
Examples:
A sham battle. Turn out to be all sham. The data he prepared was completely sham.
Ultimate.
Furthest or highest in degree or order.
Examples:
The ultimate goal in life. The ultimate luxury. Management must take ultimate responsibility for the accident.
Demagogue.
A political leader who gains power and popularity by appealing to people's emotions, prejudices, and biases, often by making false and misleading claims.
Examples:
Religious demagogue. Charismatic demagogue. The demagogue's divisive rhetoric was meant to stir up anger and hatred.
Prey.
The object of a hunt, an animal hunted or trapped for eating.
Examples:
Prey of beast. Become prey to terrorists. The majority of snakes swallow their prey whole. Capable of being hurt or influenced physically or mentally.
Examples:
A vulnerable bridge. Vulnerable parts of the body. Infants and pregnant women are particularly vulnerable.
Manipulate.
To influence or control something or someone to your advantage, often in an unfair or dishonest way.
Examples:
Manipulate figures. Vulnerable to manipulate. Please tell me how to manipulate this computer.
Adolescent.
A young person who is in the process of developing from a child into an adult.
Examples:
Adolescent girl. Pre-adolescent children. Timely education about birth control might help reduce adolescent pregnancies.
Critic.
Someone who expresses opinions about the quality of books, music, etc.
Examples:
Art critic. Severe critic. Advocates for legal reform hear less harsh words from their critics.
Invest.
To put money, effort, time, etc. into something to make a profit or achieve a result.
Examples:
Invest in stocks. Invest capital. The government should view children as national assets and actively invest in them.
Isolate.
To physically or socially separate someone or something from other people or things.
Examples:
Isolate a compound. Isolate a patient. You should not isolate them from the community.
Viol.
A stringed instrument, typically with 6 strings and frets, played with a bow, also called a viola da gamba.
Examples:
Viol instrument. Viol music. The viol player was rehearsing for an upcoming concert.
Victim.
A person who has been harmed, injured, or otherwise negatively affected by a particular action, circumstance, or event.
Examples:
Victim support. Victim compensation. The victim of the crime deserves justice and support to recover from the trauma.
Invisible.
Impossible or nearly impossible to see.
Examples:
An invisible asset. Invisible stars. The phenomenon is invisible at optical wavelengths.
Disempower.
To deprive of power, authority, or influence, to make someone or something less powerful or effective.
Examples:
Disempower the employees. Disempower the opposition. The politicians' efforts to disempower marginalized communities were met with widespread criticism.
Possibility.
A chance that something may happen or be true.
Examples:
Possibility for growth. Possibility of a major earthquake. The possibility of getting the disease will drastically increase.
Uniform.
Always the same, showing a single form or character in all occurrences. Noun, the special set of clothes worn by members of a particular group as a means of identification.
Examples:
At a uniform temperature. Our school uniform. This country has a nationally uniform culture.
Release.
To set free or allow to escape from confinement.
Examples:
Release a prisoner. Release CO2 into the air. The animal rights group worked to release the dolphins back into the wild.
Enormous.
Extremely large or great.
Examples:
Enormous amount. Enormous potential. Shakespeare's output of poetry was enormous.
Infinite.
Unlimited or very great, impossible to measure.
Examples:
Infinite appetite. Infinite in supply. The battle had an infinite impact on the nation.
Acumen.
The ability to make sound judgments and quick decisions, especially when it comes to business or financial matters.
Examples:
Critical acumen. Financial acumen. His business acumen helped him make intelligent investments and grow his portfolio quickly.
Moral.
Concerned with the principles of what is right and wrong, fairness, honesty, etc.
Examples:
Moral hazard. Moral burden. Ethics deals with moral conduct.
Imaginary.
Existing only in someone's mind.
Examples:
Imaginary number. Imaginary pregnancy. Little children tend to have imaginary friends.
Perspective.
A certain attitude towards something, a particular style of thinking about something.
Examples:
A perspective view. Perspective of the battle. His father's death changed his whole perspective on life.
Slum.
A heavily populated urban area characterized by poor, rundown housing and infrastructure, often associated with poverty and social neglect.
Examples:
Slum area. Slum dwellers. The government needs to invest more in affordable housing options to reduce the number of people living in slums.
Incredible.
Unbelievable, extremely large.
Examples:
Incredible amount. At incredible speed. Her response revealed incredible idiocy.
Competition.
A situation in which someone is attempting to beat or outperform another.
Examples:
The first round of the competition. Interspecific competition. Global competition is rising in virtually every industry.
Yearn.
To strongly desire or long for something.
Examples:
Yearn after my old days. Yearn for love. She yearned for the days when things were simpler.
Visible.
Capable of being seen or open to easy view.
Examples:
Visible stars. Visible by X-ray. My home is easily visible from the shore.
Workshop.
A place where people work, especially one where they do manual or practical work. A brief intensive course for a small group.
Examples:
Workshop attendee. Carpentry workshop. The artist held a workshop to teach students how to paint with watercolors.
Celebrate.
To acknowledge a memorable or good day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
Examples:
Celebrate his election. Celebrate Christmas. He celebrated the 10th anniversary of his tenure.
Journalist.
A person who collects and writes news stories or articles for newspapers, magazines, radio, television, or other online media.
Examples:
A China-based journalist. Journalist on a magazine. Foreign TV crews and journalists can go as they please in various locations during the Olympics.
Creative.
Relating to or involving the use of skill and original and unusual ideas to create something.
Examples:
Creative writing. Barren of creative spirit. All the supervisor has to do is assign tasks that make his subordinates more creative.
Graffiti.
Writing or drawings scribbled, scratched, or sprayed illicitly on a wall or other surface in a public place.
Examples:
Graffiti art. Graffiti tag. The city spent a lot of money cleaning up the graffiti on the buildings downtown.
Entrepreneur.
An individual who creates or invests in one or more businesses, especially when this involves taking financial risks.
Examples:
A successful entrepreneur. Billionaire entrepreneur. Entrepreneurs willingly accept business risks to achieve success.
Philanthropy.
The practice of voluntarily helping the poor, especially by giving money.
Examples:
Philanthropy organization. Private philanthropy. Tech billionaires often spend the majority of their time on philanthropy.
Capitalism.
An economic system based on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit.
Examples:
Advance capitalism. Under the umbrella of capitalism. Capitalism also guarantees intellectual property rights and thus promotes innovation.
Inclusive.
Including much or everything, and especially including stated limits, not excluding any of the people, things, ideas, etc. involved in something.
Examples:
A fully inclusive price. Inclusive education. The university has established a capacity for each nationality as part of its inclusive policy.
Philanthropic.
Characterized by a desire to promote the welfare of others, especially by donating money or providing charitable aid, of or relating to the practice of philanthropy.
Examples:
Philanthropic donation. Philanthropic mission. The philanthropic organization donated millions of dollars to fund medical research.
Patient.
A person who is receiving medical treatment, care, or attention from a healthcare professional, such as a doctor, nurse, or therapist, a personal quality or characteristic.
Examples:
Patient in the hospital. Patient with weight loss. The doctor carefully examined the patient's medical history.
Recipient.
A person who receives something.
Examples:
A recipient of a Nobel Prize. A recipient of a lung transplant. When performing an organ transplant, it is necessary to test for compatibility between the donor and recipient.
Charity.
An organization that helps people in need, especially by providing food, shelter, or money, a kindly and sympathetic attitude toward people.
Examples:
Charity work. Ask charity. She volunteers at a local charity every weekend to help those in need.
Innovation.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation.
Examples:
Innovation leader. Cutting-edge innovation. The vegetarian burger was an innovation that quickly spread to the United Kingdom.
Maternal.
Relating to or characteristic of a mother, having feelings that are typical of a caring mother towards her child.
Examples:
On the maternal side. Maternal care. She had a very maternal instinct towards her newborn baby.
Emergency.
A sudden unforeseen crisis usually involving danger that requires immediate action.
Examples:
Emergency action. Acute emergency. The president declared a state of emergency.
Dignity.
The quality of being worthy of esteem or respect, high office or rank or station.
Examples.
Respect for human dignity. Retain everyone's dignity. The failure destroyed his trust and personal dignity.
Uncomfortable.
Providing or feeling physical discomfort or slight pain.
Examples.
An uncomfortable silence. With an uncomfortable face. His abusive words made me uncomfortable.
Profit.
Money that is earned in business or by selling things after deducting the costs involved.
Examples.
Gross profit. Make a profit. This business yields little profit.
Blunt.
Having a dull or rounded edge or point, not sharp, straightforward in speech or manner, often to the point of being rude or insensitive.
Examples.
Blunt criticism. Blunt force. The blunt knife made it difficult to cut through the tough steak.
Instrument.
An object used to make musical sounds, such as a piano, guitar, or drum, a tool or device used for a specific activity, particularly in specialist or scientific work.
Examples.
Musical instruments. Surgical instruments. This electronic instrument is required to undergo periodic inspections to ensure precision.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples.
A circular movement. Movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Individual.
A single person or thing, as distinct from a group.
Examples.
A private individual. Individual freedom. As an individual, he had the right to make his own decisions and live his life as he saw fit.
Convert.
To turn something into a different form, to transform.
Examples.
Convert fat into energy. Convert base 10 to base 16. I want to convert my sadness into strength.
Vision.
The ability to think about or see the future with imagination and intelligence, the faculty of being able to see.
Examples.
A prodigious vision. Telescopic vision. Driving is difficult for me because of my poor vision.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples.
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Transcend.
To rise above or go beyond the limits of something.
Examples:
transcend boundaries, transcend limits. The music transcended cultural barriers and reached audiences globally.
Mosque.
A Muslim place of worship that usually has a minaret equals slender tower with balconies.
Examples:
Domed mosque, the sacred mosque. Jumeirah Mosque is one of the most beautiful buildings in the United Arab Emirates.
Suicide.
The act of killing yourself intentionally.
Examples:
Commit suicide, suicide attack. In an economically prosperous country, most male suicide is due to child support problems.
Bomb.
A weapon that explodes and is used to kill or injure people or to cause damage to something.
Examples:
Atomic bombs. Disarm the bomb. The use of cluster bombs is strictly prohibited by international law.
Sect.
A group of people who follow a particular religious or philosophical belief system, especially one that is regarded as outside the norm or mainstream.
Examples:
Sect beliefs. Secret sect. The minority sect believed in a set of unconventional religious practices.
Fundamentalist.
A person who adheres strictly to the basic principles of any subject or discipline.
Examples:
Fundamentalist church. Political fundamentalist. He is a religious fundamentalist and strictly adheres to the teachings of his faith.
Rage.
A strong feeling of anger or violence.
Examples:
Uncontrollable rage. Fall into a rage. She was filled with a burning rage at the injustice she had witnessed.
Despair.
The feeling that there is no hope and you cannot do anything to improve a difficult situation.
Examples:
Despair at the future. Untold despair. His friend's death drove him to despair.
Dare.
To have the courage to do something.
Examples:
Dare not go. Dare to take risks. I wouldn't dare to speak to him like that.
Commerce.
The activity of buying and selling things, especially on a large scale.
Examples:
Interstate commerce. The local chamber of commerce. This company has invested heavily in internet commerce.
Stipend.
A fixed sum of money paid regularly, often as a salary or allowance, to support a particular activity or role, such as a student or trainee.
Examples:
Full-time stipend. Stipend amount. As a graduate student, I receive a monthly stipend to cover my living expenses.
Apprentice.
A person who works for and learns from a skilled employer to become a skilled worker themselves.
Examples:
Apprentice carpenter. A young apprentice. He took on an apprentice to teach him the trade.
Develop.
To grow or expand, to improve or refine through a process of progress and refinement, often to achieve greater sophistication or complexity, to elaborate or add detail to something that is in the process of being created.
Examples:
Develop a strategy. Develop a skill. We must develop a new system to streamline our workflow and increase efficiency.
Communal.
Belonging to or used by a group rather than individuals, for common use.
Examples:
Communal swimming pool. Communal combination of funds. Communal elections were held in several European countries.
Refuse.
To show that one is not willing to do or accept something.
Examples:
Refuse a request. Refuse the company. My initial reaction was to refuse.
Bribe.
To try to make someone do something to gain one's favors or influence by giving a gift of money or other inducements.
Examples:
Bribe a politician. Bribe him with food. He tries to bribe the ship's captain to export illegal products.
Clinic.
A building or hospital department where people can go for medical care or advice, especially of a particular condition.
Examples:
Visit to the veterinary clinic. A dental clinic. She holds a clinic on Tuesday mornings.
Navigate.
To plan and direct the way that a ship, plane, etc. will travel, often by using a map.
Examples:
Navigate the Pacific. Navigate through a document. Our knowledge helps navigate our clients successfully.
Diverse.
Including numerous categories of individuals or entities, various.
Examples:
Diverse backgrounds. A person of diverse talents. New York is a city with a diverse ethnic population.
Elect.
To choose someone for a specific position by voting for them, to decide or choose to do something.
Examples:
Elect the school board. Elect death. Every 5 years, the provincial governors are elected.
Imam.
A religious leader of the Muslim community, especially the leader of a mosque and a community.
Examples:
Imam of mosque. Spiritual imam. In some Muslim countries, The imam's position is appointed by the government.
Rotate.
To turn around a central point or axis, to move in a circular path around something.
Examples:
Rotate crops. Rotate about the origin. The Earth rotates on its axis once every 24 hours.
Courage.
The ability to face danger, difficulty, uncertainty, or pain without being overcome by fear or despair. The quality of being brave or courageous.
Examples:
Mental courage. Inspire courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe is right.
Crisis.
A time of great disagreement, confusion, or danger when problems must be resolved or critical decisions must be taken.
Examples:
Financial crisis. Crisis management. The Chinese word for crisis comprises two characters, one for danger and the other for opportunity.
Cynical.
Believing that people are motivated by self-interest, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity.
Examples:
Cynical remarks. Cynical worldview. He was very cynical and didn't believe anything anyone said unless he saw evidence for himself.
Distance.
The amount of space between 2 points, measured in units such as miles, meters, or kilometers, the extent, scope, or range between two things, such as distance or emotional distance.
Examples:
Driving distance. Social distance. The marathon runner covered a long distance in a short amount of time.
Blame.
To think or say that someone or something did something wrong or is responsible for something bad.
Examples:
Blame circumstances for the failure. Blame the lack of knowledge. We blamed our impeded progress on lack of money.
Transformation.
A complete change in form, nature, or appearance of someone or something.
Examples:
The transformation of a tadpole into a frog. Cast a transformation spell. Understanding unitary transformations of a normal matrix require considerable mathematical sophistication.
Compassion.
A strong feeling of sympathy and sadness for another's suffering or bad luck.
Examples:
Feel compassion for the poor. Have compassion toward the accident. His infinite love and compassion for everyone never weary.
Psychology.
The scientific study of mind and behavior.
Examples:
Psychology experiment. Psychology of crowd. She had a master's degree in psychology.
Statistics.
The discipline that concerns the collection, organization, analysis, interpretation, and presentation of data.
Examples:
Statistics for cancer. Official statistics. The statistics demonstrate that poverty and unemployment are genuine problems.
Ruby.
A bright red precious stone consisting of corundum, used in jewelry, a transparent type of corundum of any color except red, which is called sapphire.
Examples:
Ruby red dress. Ruby bracelet. The paintings in the gallery were filled with vibrant ruby hues.
Desegregation.
The action or process of eliminating segregation, typically of races or ethnic groups, in educational, social, or other institutions.
Examples:
Desegregation plan. Legal desegregation. Desegregation of schools was a major social issue in the 1960s.
Grace.
A quality of being pleasing, especially in appearance or manner, a temporary exemption, especially an extended period granted as a special favor, a short prayer of thanks before a meal.
Examples:
Say a grace. End of the grace period. The old oak tree stood with grace and majesty in the park center.
Phalanx.
A close and tightly packed formation of troops, typically in ancient warfare, a united or closely knit group of individuals working together towards a common purpose or goal.
Examples:
Finger phalanx. Finger phalanx. The soldiers marched in a phalanx formation, ready for battle.
Scream.
To give a loud, high shout suddenly, especially because of fear, anger, excitement, etc., to utter or declare in a very loud voice.
Examples:
Scream a profanity. Scream at him to be quiet. She kept screaming for an ambulance.
Threaten.
To utter intentions of injury or punishment against someone.
Examples:
Threaten a healthy relationship. Threaten national security. Various artificially induced causes are threatening our ecosystem.
Poison.
A substance that can cause illness, injury, or death when ingested, inhaled, or absorbed through the skin, something harmful, malicious, or toxic, the act of damaging or ruining a relationship. Verb, to introduce a substance into something or someone harmful and potentially deadly.
Examples:
Poison ivy. Poison bilateral relations. The plant's leaves contain a deadly poison that can cause hallucinations and seizures.
Distort.
To change something's shape, appearance, or sound so that it appears weird or unclear.
Examples:
Distort the facts. Distort the economy. Economists contend that taxes distort consumer behavior in general.
Forgiveness.
The act of stopping feeling angry or resentful towards someone for a mistake or offense with compassion.
Examples:
forgiveness of liabilities, beg for forgiveness. He gained debt forgiveness.
Hail.
To call out to someone to get their attention, often from a distance, to greet or welcome someone, especially with enthusiasm or admiration. Noun, precipitation in the form of small balls or lumps of ice that fall from the sky.
Examples:
Hail the victorious team with cheers. Hail forecast. People in the area were forced to hail a taxi due to the lack of public transportation options.
Humble.
Having or showing a modest or low estimate of one's quality or importance.
Examples:
A humble cottage. Humble opinion. The nobler, the more humble.
Conclude.
To come to an end or close, to reach a judgment or opinion by reasoning.
Examples:
Conclude a meeting. Conclude that he is healthy. We concluded a ceasefire.
Panic.
A sudden strong feeling of fear that cannot be controlled and prevents reasonable thought and action.
Examples:
A panic reaction. Panic buying. The participation of oil-producing countries in the war caused panic in the financial markets.
Nourish.
To provide a person, an animal, or plant with food to make them grow and stay healthy.
Examples:
Nourish damaged skin. Nourish hope. The mother used her breast milk to nourish the baby.
Heaven.
Of various religious and mythological traditions, a place or state of existence considered to be the abode of the divine, the afterlife, or a higher realm of being, a state of great happiness, contentment, or beauty.
Examples:
Ascend to heaven. Heaven on earth. He felt like heaven when he tasted the delicious chocolate cake.
Harvest.
Yields of plants in a single growing season, the period of the year when gathering occurs on a farm.
Examples:
A scanty harvest. Reap a harvest. During harvest, farmers are incredibly busy.
Gratitude.
The quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness.
Examples:
A debt of gratitude. Feelings of gratitude. She expressed her gratitude towards the kind stranger who helped her.
Humility.
The quality or condition of being humble, a low estimate of oneself.
Examples:
Develop an attitude of humility. Lack of humility. We were filled with humility at the sight of the Queen.
Audacity.
Boldness or daring, especially when it is foolhardy or reckless.
Examples:
Audacity of hope. Act of audacity. His audacity in stealing the painting matched his foolishness in getting caught.
Extend.
To broaden in scope, range, or area.
Examples:
Extend the warranty. Extend a line. Her visit will extend from Monday to Friday.
Fundamental.
Forming an essential base or core from which everything else develops or is affected.
Examples:
Fundamental education. Fundamental rights. Human behavior has fundamental characteristics.
Assume.
To think or accept something to be true without having proof of it, to take or begin to have power, to begin to exhibit a specific quality or appearance.
Examples:
Assume a lousy attitude to his boss. Assume an important role. The following example assumes that the capacity of each battery is the same.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Precious.
Uncommon and extremely valuable.
Examples:
Price of precious metals. Precious information. We cannot afford to squander precious time.
Necessarily.
In an essential manner, in such a way as could not be otherwise.
Examples:
Not necessarily a problem. Necessarily true. This accident was something that happened necessarily.
Sustain.
To supply enough of what somebody or something needs in order to survive or exist, to accept as valid.
Examples:
Sustain a good relationship with him. Sustain a wellness lifestyle. She struggled to sustain the children's reading habits.